This is an interesting study that looked at immunization, infectivity, and fusogenicity of COVID, BA.2.86 and XBB FLip variants. Where for BA.2.86, they looked at the neutralization capability of these healthcare workers who received either the primary 3-dose vaccine series or the 3-dose vaccine and the bivalent vaccine. The study also looked at the different COVID variants and how they did cell-to-cell fusion to the ACE2 receptor, in addition to how they bonded to CALU3 cells, which are human epithelial cells, human lung cells, therefore also evaluating infectivity based off of these parameters. In brief, what they found is that the BA.2.86 variant, the pyrola variant, is less resistant to neutralization by bivalent vaccine-induced antibodies compared to FLip and other XBB variants, and that BA.2.86 shows higher fusogenicity and infectivity within the human epithelial, those lung cells. So the pyrola variant was first detected in late July of 2023 in Israel and in Denmark, where in terms of relative sense, BA.2.86 has about 30 mutations from BA.2 and about 35 mutations from XBB 1.5. Where initial data from the Bloom group suggested that BA.2.86 will be about as immunoevasive as XBB 1.5, but antigenically distinct from the XBB lineage. With the most interesting finding being that the pyrola variant has a decreased infectivity in ACE2 cells, yet increased infectivity in the lung and epithelial cells, where pyrola showed a 2 to 3 times increase in infectivity in the lung cells compared to XBB 1.5 and EG 5.1. And what's really interesting for the BA.2.86 pyrola variant, this orange right here, is that for people that received 4 doses with the bivalent, they generated some neutralizing antibodies, while the people that didn't get the bivalent vaccine essentially generated no antibodies, showing that for people up to date on the bivalent vaccine, there is some protective effect against this lineage. And very importantly, for people that had an XBB 1.5 wave breakthrough infection, it didn't really confer any immunity against the BA.2.86 lineage. As shown here, these are people that had an XBB 1.5 infection. That's not giving you any protection against other XBB 1.5 variants in addition to the pyrola variant, as these are magnitudes of antibody response, and this is the limit of detection, this dotted line. Additionally, the dose of bivalent vaccine broadened the immune response against Omicron subvariants. So if we look at all 3 of these at once, so anything above this dotted line is going to be some level of neutralizing antibody response developed by the infected individual, while anything at or below the line is going to be a non-significant antibody response developed, essentially implying immune escape. And we saw this happen for XBB 1.5, EG5, BA.2.86, and etc. for both only primary series vaccinated individuals, as well as people that had some vaccinations and an XBB 1.5 wave infection, which underpins why staying up to date on your vaccinations is very important, because people that receive this bivalent vaccine have a much broader protection than people who didn't. And for people that have been using monoclonal antibody therapy, we have an unfortunate development. Many monoclonal antibodies have lost the ability to neutralize spike upon the emergence of the new Omicron variants. But of note, S309, a class 3 antibody, has largely maintained efficacy against Omicron spike lineages. In addition, the S309, however, is unable to neutralize BA.2.86, which also has a specific spike mutation. So even this is now having a limited impact.